Back in December 2014, JAXA, the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, launched Hayabusa2, the second of JAXA's missions to collect and return samples from nearby asteroids. 3 years later, in June this year, Hayabusa2 arrived at Ryugu, a kilometre-wide asteroid orbiting the Sun between the Earth and Mars. And less than 2 weeks ago, one of the trickiest parts of the mission began. The Hayabusa2 mothership dropped the first 2 of its 4 payloads, rovers designed to roam, or rather hop, around the asteroid's surface taking pictures. It was a nail-biting time, but the rovers landed safely and have started sending back some incredible images. It was a big step, but there's still a lot to come from Hayabusa2. Explosive impactors, sample collections, and the landing of the European-designed Mascot probe. At the time of recording, it's not yet been released, but by the time you listen to this podcast, we may be getting the first signals from a successful landing. But more on that later. Right now, I'm headed to Mission Control in JAXA's Sagamihara campus just outside Tokyo to hear more about those crucial rover landings and what we can expect from the Hayabusa2 mission in the coming weeks and months. Yoshikawa-san, nice to meet you.
My name is Makoto Yoshikawa, and I am a mission manager of Hayabusa2.
That must mean that this is quite an exciting time for you.
Yes, very exciting, because now Hayabusa2 tries to put small lander on the surface. Also, we will try to touch down. So now it is very exciting period.
So it was just last week where the first 2 rovers landed.
Yes.
Tell me, what was that day like?
Yes. So Thursday, spacecraft started to descend. 1 day later, it approached about 60 meters above the surface of Ryugu, and then the spacecraft released 2 small rovers. So at that time, project members were very excited and also very happy to see that the separation was successful. And we get first image from a small rover, and we could see the surface.
And those images, I've seen some of them, they've been all over the media. They're kind of action images, which you don't normally get from space missions. What was your reaction when you first saw them?
So at first we saw the image. We think that we could feel the dynamic motion of rover, and also we saw the sunlight, the color of sunlight. So we are very surprised to see such a beautiful image.
And one of the things that the rovers are going to be doing is to continue taking images from Ryugu.
All right. So we can see many parts of the surface of Ryugu, close-up image. And so many small rocks and no sand. In that sense, we also surprised to see the real surface of Ryugu.
These rovers are not like the rovers people might imagine if they think of the Mars rover or something. Mm-hmm. They're somewhat smaller and they move in a very unique way. Tell me about that.
It can hop, it can jump. Inside the rover, there is one motor, and the motor rotates a weight. Then, because the gravity is very small, the reaction of weight motion, the entire rover can move.
So that's the first 2 rovers, but there's more to come. Tell me what's next.
So Hayabusa2 has 4 rovers and lander. So now we released 2 of them. And the next one is a little big one called Mascot. Mascot lander was made by the DLR and CNES, Germany and France. And we will release Mascot lander October 2nd. And after that, Mascot has a battery, and it lasts only 16 hours or so.
And so that's 3 landers now, but that's still not done. There's still more to come. What's next?
Yes. So last one is also very small rover. Maybe we will release it at the end of the mission, before summer of next year.
And the very final bit of the mission is one of the biggest challenges you have yet. That is to collect a sample from the asteroid to bring back. And you're not just getting a sample from the surface of the asteroid, it's actually from inside the asteroid, and you have to get inside the asteroid first. Tell me what's going to happen there.
Yes. So after releasing lander, next big challenge is to get the sample from the surface. So spacecraft will make a touchdown to the surface late October. So at first, we get the surface material. But next year, we will try to make a small crater on the surface of Ryugu. Hayabusa2 has an impactor.
And this impactor is essentially an explosive device.
Right. It has 2 kilogram copper, and this will be accelerated to about 2 kilometers per second. The impactor mission is very risky, and so when impactor explode, Hayabusa2 spacecraft hide behind the asteroid. And if a spacecraft hide behind the asteroid, we cannot see the impact event. So before Hayabusa2 hides, it will release a small camera, deployable camera. The small camera can watch the impact. So this is a very complicated and risky mission, but a very exciting mission.
So from what you've told me, this is a very elaborate and complicated mission with many, many stages.
Right.
What are you trying to find out?
Our main purpose is to study the organic matter, because Ryugu is a C-type asteroid, and normally C-type asteroid has organic matter and also water. The organic matter we will get from Ryugu is before Earth's life born. I mean, maybe we can study the original material that create the life on the Earth.